Yes, yeah, this is beautiful. I don't remember this. Well, okay.
When was the last time you were here?
I was a little girl. My school trips. Oh my gosh.
That was gonna be my first question. I heard it was your idea to do this here. What made you think of the Betsy Ross House?
Well, when I was a young girl and I was attending schools in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania, at Upper Moreland Township, this is one of the places that we would come.
What do you remember about your first date with Joe Biden here in Philadelphia?
Oh my gosh. So we came into Philly to get out of Wilmington, to get out of anybody seeing us. And we came to Chestnut Street to the movie theater. Then afterwards, we walked up about 2 blocks and there was a restaurant. We stayed there for a couple hours. It was kind of a blind date that we went out on, and I was surprised.
And why were you surprised?
I didn't know anything about politics. I mean, I was an English major. I was teaching English. I just didn't think he would appeal to me.
Didn't seem like your type at first?
Yeah.
On a more serious note, President Trump and his campaign continually attack Joe Biden on whether he's mentally up for the job of President of the United States. You spend more time with Joe Biden than anyone else. How do you respond to attacks on his mental fitness?
I think Donald Trump's just looking for anything, to cause a distraction. I think, Joe was in Philly just a couple days ago, maybe a week. I mean, people see him all the time. I don't think it's even a question. President Trump is using it as a distraction. I mean, I see Joe. I mean, he's on the phone with, members of Congress, with Nancy Pelosi. I mean, every day he's on the Zoom, he's traveling. It just seems so ridiculous to me.
You've said before that politics doesn't come naturally to you, but that was a long time ago. I'm curious if you still feel that way.
I've gotten used to it. I mean, it is my life now, but I would much rather be in the classroom than be on the campaign trail. Joe has always supported my career. And that's when I said, when he became vice president, I said, Joe, I have to continue teaching. I can't just live your life. And he said, no, you should teach. So I found a community college, and there I was teaching for 8 years. I taught the entire 8 years that we were in the White House, and when we were VP, and why I will continue to teach if we're elected if Joe is elected in November.
And some of your students didn't actually know what the second half of your life looked like back then, right?
No, they had no idea, which was really kind of cool, I thought, because they truly saw me as their English teacher and not as second lady.
It might be harder as first lady.
Yeah, might be a little harder. We'll see.
What do you think the role of first lady should be now?
I think that's the beauty of the role of a first lady, that you can do or be whatever you want to be. And so I think I would not waste my platform, and I would champion education, certainly. Military families, the Bidens are a military family, and when we were there as VP, when Joe was vice president, Michelle Obama and I joined together for our Joining Forces initiative to support military families. I would pick that up day one. And then I fight for community colleges, free community college, which I think is so important. And then finally, I want to work on a cancer initiative.
You have roots in Willow Grove and Philly. The former vice president has roots in Scranton, obviously. Pennsylvania is just such an important state, and also such a divided state. What's your hope for Pennsylvanians seeing a united message in Biden's campaign?
I hope that Pennsylvanians look for good, strong leadership, and I think they look for a president who is steady. I think that Joe's America would be so much different than what we have now in Donald Trump's America. I think we would have a sense of calm. I think we would have a president who has plans, has strategies, think things through. So I think Pennsylvanians have to decide, what do they really care about? What issue and then look at Joe's leadership on that issue. What Joe offers is a new direction.